Welcome to whofooadventures. On January 19th and 20th, we got to attend the Sedona Vegfest. I look forward to this Vegfest every year. Fabulous speakers with so much information, great cooking demonstrations. This year we had movies, and then meeting old friends and making new friends. It was a wonderful time.
I like videoing each of the speakers. I videoed some highlights from each of them that I will be posting in separate videos. If you want to see their full presentations, they should be available shortly on the healthyworldsedona.com.
Let's check out the first video with Dr. Kahn.
To introduce Dr. Joel Kahn. He's from Detroit, Michigan, a practicing cardiologist, clinical professor of medicine at Wayne State University School of Medicine, and associate professor at Oakland University Beaumont Hospital Medical Schools. He actually trained in interventional cardiology in Dallas and Kansas City. He's known as America's holistic heart doc, and he's a diplomat of the American Board of Internal Medicine and maintains subspecialty board certification in cardiovascular medicine. The interesting thing, he does all of this while managing to run 3 vegan restaurants around the country. So, amazing guy, very organized. I'm so impressed with that. He's authored a lot of publications. I won't go into all of those, but he's also on the internet fairly often, and so we recommend that you see in particular a discussion that he had on the doctor's show, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that. But he can be found at drjoelkahn, KAHN.com. So without further ado, Dr. Kahn.
These are the statistics 4 months ago, Center for Disease Control in Atlanta. 2,000 people a day in the United States, every single day, every single day, every single day, every 39 seconds die of cardiovascular disease. And it's estimated conservatively by this Center of Disease Control, far from a lifestyle, plant-based government agency, that half of those could be preventable, so we could knock that down to 1,000 a day. Other pieces of data say it's 80% preventable, detectable, reversible, which would knock it down to 300 to 400 a day. We learned 400 years ago from this handsome man in England, Dr. Thomas Sydenham, that if you know how old your arteries are, you can predict your longevity and your overall health. And his vision to know that from autopsies was just absolutely precise and on target, and we have the technology that he never could have dreamed of. Don't raise your hand, but if I asked in the room, how many of you know your birth date, hopefully you know that, you're 52, you're 61, you're 47, but how many have even a clue of your arterial age? If you've had bypass, if you've had a stent, if you've had a carotid procedure, you're older than your birth date. I'm sorry to drop that bomb on you, because it's not inevitable and natural to have procedures like that, and by the time you have a procedure like that, you're very advanced in the spectrum. Always hopeful to stop it and reverse it. I'll show you that briefly. But we have technology now, and there are a lot of people. This is an angiogram, a heart catheterization, something I've done on people since 1986. Through the leg or through the wrist, inject dye, and where that arrow is called the widowmaker. That's a problem, and the problem is you can play tennis with that, you can go on a cruise with that, you can retire with that, you can have all these grand plans, and it's possible one day that's going to smack you in the rear of your heart, or the front of your heart. with problems. So how do you know? Because we have so many mechanisms to just sneak by without a feeling of distress or shortness of breath, even when there's serious problems. And it's just the reality. So 3 quick clues. The third one is the high-tech one, but very available. There is this crazy physical exam sign that nobody talks about, sadly, called a diagonal earlobe crease. But a doctor in New York published an article 50 years ago and said, when I see people with heart disease, I don't know why, but I see this weird crease in the earlobe, and when I see people without heart disease, I don't see it. And in the last 10 years, it's come back in the medical science, and it's about 70% accurate. 70% accurate is about as accurate as a stress test. The other clue that we don't do well in the medical field is dealing with men that are starting to have or medium advanced erectile dysfunction. We got to go right to the sex talk here, which is, I have one of my 5 books is called Vegan Sex, quite a fun book with Ellen Jaffe Jones, and I wrote chapters about this. 3 to 4 years before a heart attack or an emergency room visit or a stent or a bypass, men very commonly start to have difficulties in this part of life. And it's a clue, and that's why it's called a canary in a coal mine. Miners used to bring a canary or a bird into the mine, and when carbon monoxide levels might get high, the bird would plunk over, and they knew to run out because they knew it was an early warning clue. So is erectile dysfunction. Do the next step, which is there is the ability to fulfill Dr. Seidingham's vision, which is to know the age of your arteries. Surround yourself with a lifestyle, and we're talking at the Vegfest largely about food-based lifestyle, but you're very well aware, and probably the premier plant doctor in this arena is Dr. Dean Ornish. His brand new book called Undo It, just came out 2 weeks ago, is on the book table. Don't smoke, walk every day, eat as many fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes as you can, sleep at night, and you can enjoy a few alcoholic beverages. And these are studies in Europe involving almost 40,000 people who at the beginning said, I don't have heart disease, but their lifestyle was recorded in many different parameters. And 20 years later, they were asked, have you had a heart attack? So I've been practicing cardiology since 1986. And when I see Winston Churchill in my office with a cigar in his hand and 100 pounds overweight, I would warn him he's at risk for early death, early heart attack, and I would have been completely wrong. And if I would have looked at Jim Fixx, who wrote the book of running in the 70s that started the whole marathon craze, I would have said, dude, keep going. Even though he was very famous for saying, I can eat whatever I want because I'm so athletic. But he died at age 53 of a large heart attack and advanced heart disease on autopsy. And your doctor, with no disrespect to maybe a doctor in the audience or a nurse practitioner or other people that provide health care, but we are often wrong. So there are tools that are available, and the one in the upper left, which is a CT or CAT scanner, can result in a very quick fulfillment of this answer. We can lie down for 10 seconds, go in a machine, hold your breath, go home, no needle, no IV, no injection, no pain, no claustrophobia, really nothing. But you can come up with dramatically crystal clear pictures of the heart, which you never get with a stress test or an electrocardiogram or a stethoscope. And person A has heart arteries near the yellow arrow that don't have white dots. White dots are calcium, you don't want hardening of your arteries. Person B has a little bit, and person C plays squash, plays handball, takes 3-week cruises in the Orient, is about to retire. No idea, men and women, that they have a serious burden of atherosclerosis, hardening the arteries. But for $100 or $75, which is what it usually costs nowadays, 10 seconds, if you're willing to deal with the reality that you can be on top of this problem and then apply all measures that you can learn about, reading Dr. Ornish's book, one of my books, Dr. Furman's book, The End of Heart Disease, these would all be good.
Welcome to whofooadventures. On January 19th and 20th, we got to attend the Sedona Vegfest. And I'm supposed to tell you what I thought of it. I forgot what I was going to say, too.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more Whofoo content, including more videos from the Sedona Vegfest 2019.